Hi, this video shows ASAP members how to fill out a work permit application called Form I-765 as an asylum seeker. This video applies to you if you have already submitted an asylum application, Form I-589. The purpose of this video is to provide general information about the work permit application. It is not intended as legal advice. Please also note that ASAP is a nonprofit organization and we are not part of the government. Section 1. General information about work permits for asylum seekers. Generally, asylum seekers can apply for a work permit 150 days after you submit your asylum application, Form I-589. If you have questions about whether you have reached 150 days, click the link below this video to watch a different video about the asylum clock. Section 2. How to find the work permit application. To find the work permit application form, first open your internet browser, type I-765 and click Search. Then click on I-765 Application for Employment Authorization, USCIS. You can also find the link to the USCIS website below this video. Once you are on the USCIS website, scroll down and click Forms and Document Downloads. Then click on Form I-765. Then download the application form. Once you have downloaded the form, open the file so you can begin your application. The I-765 application for your work permit is 7 pages long, and it is split up into 6 parts. You can either complete the application on your computer and then print it, or you can print it out first and fill it out by hand. If you fill out the application by hand, make sure to use a black pen. The application must be completed in English. Section 3. Parts 1 and 2 of the work permit application. Now, I will take you through each question of the work permit application. All of the information that I write in the form during this video is fake. You should fill in your own specific information in your application. Part 1 of the work permit application asks your reason for applying for a work permit. If you are applying for your first work permit, check box 1A, Initial Permission to Accept Employment. But if you are applying to renew your work permit, check box 1C, Renewal of my permission to accept employment. Now, we'll move on to part 2 of the application, titled Information About You. For question 1A, write your complete last name. For question 1B, write your first name. For question 1C, write your middle name, if you have one. If you do not, write N/A, which stands for not applicable. The name that you put in the work permit application should be your current official legal name and should match your most recent identity document. If you are filling out the form on the computer, sometimes the form may not let you type in N/A. You can leave it blank on the computer and then write NA by hand with a black pen after you print the application. If you have used names other than your current legal name, you will need to answer questions 2, 3, and 4 in the section called Other Names Used. Here, you can write all other names you have used. If you have not used other names, write N/A in the boxes. For number 5, write your U.S. mailing address. Your mailing address may or may not be the same as your physical address. The mailing address is where you receive your mail and where you want your work permit to be mailed. Make sure that the address where you have your work permit mailed is a secure one and that you can trust to receive your work permit there. If someone other than you receives your mail, put their name for question 5A. If you receive your own mail, write N/A. For question 5B, write your street number and street name. For 5C, write the apartment, suite, or floor number if applicable. If not, write N/A. For 5D, write the name of the city or town. For 5E, write or select the state. For 5F, write your zip code. For question 6, if your mailing address and physical address are the same, check yes. If your mailing address and physical address are different, check no. If you check yes, you do not need to complete question number 7. You can write N/A in all the blanks under that question if that's the case. But if you check no for question 6, then you do need to complete question number 7 as well. You can put your physical address in the same order that you put your mailing address in question 6. For question 8, write your 8 or 9-digit A number if you have one. The A number is an immigrant identification number used by the U.S. government. It usually starts with the letter A, and you can find it in your immigration documents. For question 9, write your USCIS online account number if you have one. You may have a USCIS online account number if you received a notice that looks like this with the account number. If you do not have this number, just write N/A in the box. Again, if the computer does not let you type N/A, you can write it in after you print the application. For question 10, check the box that indicates your gender. For question 11, check the box that indicates your marital status: single, married, divorced, or widowed. For question 12, check yes if you have previously filed a work permit application, but check no if you have not filed a work permit application before. The next question asks you to list all the countries where you are a citizen. In 18A, you can write your country of citizenship. If you are a citizen in any other country, write the name of that second country in 18B. If you are not a citizen in any other country, you can write N/A. The next section asks for information about your place of birth. In 19A, write the city, town, or village where you were born. In 19B, write the name of the state or province in which you were born. In 19C, write the name of the country in which you were born. In question 20, write the date of your birth in this order: month, day, year. So, for example, if you were born on January 2nd, 2000, you would write 01/02/2000. The next section asks for information about your last arrival in the United States. This section can be difficult to complete for some applicants. If you are unsure about the answers to the questions, we suggest that you consult with an immigration attorney. For question 21A, if you received an I-94 form when you entered the U.S., write your arrival departure record number, which is also sometimes called the admission number, on the I-94 or I-94 form. In question 21B, write your passport number. If you do not have a passport, just write N/A. In 21C, write the number of your travel document if you have one. Travel documents are special documents issued by the U.S. government that allow someone to travel to the United States. An example of a travel document is an advance parole document. Below this video, you will find a link to a USCIS website that explains more about travel documents. If you do not have a travel document, just write N/A. In 21D, write the name of the country that issued your passport or travel document. In 21E, write the date that your passport or travel document expires in this order: month, day, year. In question 22, write the date of your last arrival to the United States in this order: month, day, year. Sounding familiar? If you do not remember the exact date, you may be able to find the date of your last arrival in your notice to appear if you have one, which looks like this. The date may be here. For question 23, provide the name of the place of your last arrival into the United States. This information may also be in your notice to appear here. You may also be able to find this information in your I-94 if you have one. If you do not know or remember the name of the place where you arrived, you can put unknown. Question 24 asks for your immigration status for your last arrival. This question may also be difficult for some applicants. Talk to an immigration attorney if you are unsure how to answer the question. The answer depends on the kind of immigration status you had the last time that you arrived in the United States. If you did not have legal status, you can write no status. If you had a tourist visa or other kind of status, you can write that. Question 25 asks for your current immigration status. This depends on what your current status is. If you currently have immigration status like parole or TPS, you can write that. If you do not have another kind of immigration status and you have filed an asylum application, you can put asylum seeker. Question 26 asks for your Student and Exchange Visitor Information System number. You may have this number if you entered on an F, M, or J visa. If you have this number, write it here. If not, write N/A. Question 27 asks for the eligibility category for your work permit. If you are applying for a work permit based on having filed an asylum application, your work permit eligibility category is C8. You can write C8 for question 27. Then for questions 28 and 29, you can write N/A in each blank space. Question 30 asks if you have ever been arrested for or convicted of any crime in any country. This does not include being detained by U.S. Border Patrol agents. If you answer yes, there are additional documents that you need to provide with your application. If you answer yes, we recommend that you speak with an immigration attorney about the specifics of your case. For questions 31A and 31B, you can write N/A. That is the end of Part 2 of the Work Permit application. Section 4, Part 3 of the Work Permit application. Now, I will go through Part 3 of the Work Permit application. The first question is your statement as the applicant. Check box 1A if you can read and understand English, and you have read and understood every question on the application. Check box 1B if somebody read the questions and your answers to you in your language. Write the name of your language in the text box. If you had checked box 1A, you can write N/A in the text box. If somebody helped you prepare the application, answer question 2 by checking the box and providing the name of the person who helped you prepare the application. You can write N/A if nobody helped you prepare the application. In question 3, write your daytime telephone number. And in question 4, write your cell phone number. Those can be the same. In question 5, write your email address. If you do not have an email address, write N/A. For question 6, you can check the box if you are from El Salvador or Guatemala, and you are eligible for benefits under the ABC Settlement Agreement. To be eligible under the ABC Settlement Agreement, you have to have entered the U.S. before specific dates in 1990. If you have questions about your eligibility, we recommend that you speak with an immigration attorney. Next is a statement that you swear to by signing the work permit application. The statement says that you have not altered any of the documents that you are submitting with your application, that you are willing to submit originals of your documents if USCIS requests them, that you authorize the sharing of any information that USCIS may need to determine your eligibility for the work permit, and that you give USCIS permission to share any information provided as they deem necessary. By signing, you also swear that all of the information provided in your application is truthful and correct. After you print your application, sign it in 7A. Then in 7B, write the date you signed, again, in the month, date, year format. That is the end of Part 3 of the Work Permit application. Section 5, Parts 4, 5, and 6 of the Work Permit application. Part 4 of the Work Permit application is for people who used an interpreter to fill out the application. If you did not use an interpreter to fill out your application, you can write N/A in the boxes for these questions. But if you did work with an interpreter, you can ask the interpreter to fill this section out for you, and the interpreter will also have to sign. Part 5 of the application is for people who received assistance to fill it out. If someone prepared your application for you and you answered yes to question 2 in Part 3, you have to fill out this section. If you completed the form yourself, you do not have to fill this section out, and you can write N/A in the boxes for these questions. If someone else prepared your application, you can ask the person to fill out this section for you. The preparer will also have to sign the application. Part 6 is for any additional information that you need to provide. For example, information that did not fit in the answer space in the application. If you complete this form on the computer, there may be answers automatically filled in for questions 1, 2, and 3. If it is not filled out yet, write your last name for 1A, your first name for 1B, and your middle name, if you have one, for 1C. For number 2, write in your A number. This information should match what you provided in Part 2 of the application. Now you are done with the work permit application. Make sure to review all of the information that you provided a few times to make sure that it is all correct. Also make sure that you write NA for any questions that were not applicable to you, or unknown for any questions that you didn't know the answer to. Finally, make sure that you remembered to sign it in Part 3, 7A. Section 6. What to submit with the work permit application. Now, I will explain what you need to include in your work permit application packet. There are multiple parts of your work permit application packet that I will explain in order. The first document is an optional form called G1145. If you submit this form, USCIS should send you a text message or email after USCIS has received your work permit application. The email or text message should include a receipt number, which you can use to check your case status. This form can be useful, but it is not required. Below this video, you will find a link to Form G1145, or you can type G1145 in your internet browser and go to the official USCIS website to download the form. To fill out the G1145 form, scroll to the bottom of the form. Write your last name here. Write your first name here. Write your middle name, if you have one, here. Then write your email address here and your cell phone number here. After you complete Form G1145, you can place it in front of your work permit application Form I-765. If you choose not to complete a Form G1145, your Form I-765 can be the first document in your application package. Next, you should also include a copy, not the original, of your passport or other photo identification document like a national identification card. If the document is not in English, you should include a translation and certificate of translation. You can see a link to a sample certificate of translation below this video. If possible, you should also attach documents showing you filed your asylum application. If you submitted your asylum application to USCIS, you can include a copy of your USCIS receipt notice. You can see an example here. If you applied for asylum with immigration court, you can submit a copy of your next hearing notice in the immigration court along with a copy of the first page of your Form I-589 application for asylum with a stamp confirming receipt by the immigration court. However, if you do not have these documents, you can still try submitting your application without them. Section 7. Where to send your work permit application. After you complete the application and assemble all of the documents, you are ready to send your work permit application to USCIS. To find the address, open your internet browser and search I-765. Go to I-765 Application for Employment Authorization USCIS, which is the same web page where you downloaded your work permit application. Scroll down to Where to File. Then click on Filing Locations for Form I-765. This should take you to a different web page. Below this video, you will also find a link to this web page. Now, click on Asylees, Refugees, and their spouses and children. Scroll down to C8 Asylum Applicant, and you will find the filing address. Note that the address is different if you use the post office, which is called USPS, as opposed to FedEx, UPS, or DHL. If you use FedEx, UPS, or DHL, make sure to include the line that says, "Attention, I-765C08, parentheses 650888, in the address, or the government could delay your application. If possible, get a tracking number for your application and save it. With a tracking number, you can confirm that your application was delivered to USCIS. And you may also need it if there are any problems with your application, such as delays in getting your receipt notice. Section 8. Applying for a work permit and Social Security number for your child. If your child is included in your asylum application, or if your child has their own asylum application, your child can also apply for a work permit by submitting Form I-765. Each person, including children, needs their own separate work permit application. You can fill out your child's Form I-765 with your child's information the same way that we reviewed in this video. If your child is over 14, they must sign their own work permit application. If your child is under 14, you, the parent, can sign your signature instead. You should also include proof that you are their parent. For example, a copy of their birth certificate showing both your name and their name on it. If the birth certificate is not in English, also include a translation and certificate of translation. Like you did for yours, you should also include and attach 2 passport photographs of your child and a copy, not the original, of their passport or other photo identification. We hope this information is helpful to you. If you have specific questions, or if you are unsure how to answer any questions in this application, we recommend that you speak with an immigration attorney. And if you have questions about work permits, below this video, you will find a link to an ASAP webpage with great information, including frequently asked questions and answers about work permits. You can also find more general resources for asylum seekers on our website, help.asylumadvocacy.org. Thank you for watching this video.